Jamie, do you eat almonds?
That is a great
Do you eat
question.
almonds? Jamie, do you eat almonds? Yes
Thank
or no?
you for asking. I do
You do, okay.
because
Great, okay.
I
Wait, no,
like to
sorry.
start-
So
I
can
like
you
to
just stop
start
there?
with
Can I
the
stop you there, please?
greatest-
Jamie, stop you there. Avocados. Do you eat avocados?
I do, yes.
You eat avocados,
Piers.
you eat almonds. Do you know how many bees are killed in the production of almonds and avocados? Do you know how many trucks it takes to truck these around? And you have the gall to sit here in front of me and tell me that I'm killing animals. What about the bees? Do you think about the bees, Jamie? What about the bees?
Well, because I think we need to start where the greatest harm is happening. And the greatest harm
The
is
bees?
happening.
You don't care about the bees? You don't care about the little guy? They're getting harmed?
Well, if you care so much about the bees, why don't you care about cows, chickens, turkeys?
I'm not telling you to change your life. You're telling me to change my life. You've come here, sat in front of me, and told me I'm an animal killer when you're an animal killer. Well, you're a hypocrite.
The data that I've seen is that the most amount of bees are killed from the mites and pesticides that are sprayed on the crops, not actually from almond and avocado farming. So if you show me the data, I'll look it over. The difference here is that I'm willing to look at data and science and change my actions, whereas you just sit here and come up with excuses as to every reason why you shouldn't change.
Listen, these bees wouldn't be being killed by mites and pesticides if people like you weren't paying for them to be in those situations. This is your fault.
The 1% of vegans are not the problem, and vegans are not the only ones to eat almonds and avocados. There's a lot more meat eaters out there that eat almonds and avocados.
So what you're basically telling me is it's not your problem. Bees are not your problem.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we need to start where the greatest threat is happening and then, of course, adjust our actions to do better where we can. So, yeah.
So you're saying one day you will fight for bees. Is that what you're telling me, but just not now?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. If I find data and science to actually show me that vegans are the problem for the bees, then yes, maybe I'll look into it. But honestly, I don't eat almonds and avocados every single day, and I don't eat them 3 times a day like most people eat meat and dairy.
Well, I don't eat meat 3 times, 4 times a day. I don't eat meat every day, to be totally honest with you. So I guess we're on the same page there. I'm basically you, right?
No, we're not on the same page. We're not on the same page because when you actually look at the graphs and you look at the amount of water, land, and resources that it takes just to produce milk, cheese, meat, it is still way worse than
water, land, and resources. Listen, if we're going to go down this climate change route, listen, I'm not convinced that humans are causing the weather to change. You're not going to get me there, okay? We're talking about animals' lives and deaths. At the end of the day, you're as responsible for animal deaths as I am. So why am I? You're a hypocrite. Why should I have to listen to you telling me not to eat meat?
I'm not responsible for anywhere near the amount of deaths that you are responsible for. Veganism is not about living a perfect life. We can't, right? Because we exist, we live. I might be stepping on microorganisms. However, it's about reducing suffering where possible. It's about reducing suffering to as far as is practically possible. So that's what we try to do as vegans. No way, shape, or form did I say I was perfect. And I'm sure there's things that you're doing better than I am. But the difference is that I'm willing to change and learn.
Well, you're not willing to change. I just told you what happens to the bees for almonds and avocados. You told me that it's not a vegan problem. So clearly you're not willing to change.
You're telling me this and you're not showing me any science, facts, or data. So the facts and science and data that I've seen doesn't show it being a problem.
Well, I mean, I've had farmers on my channel, on my show. I've had farmers on the show. Farmers telling me there's quadrillions, they say, quadrillions of insects, including bees, killed per year for vegan crops, vegan avocados, vegan almonds.
Do you know who's eating the majority of those crops? It's farmed animals. The vast majority of crops that we grow are fed to farm animals.
Anyway, we've got 10 seconds left, so we'll wrap it up. That's what he'd do. He'd get you. You'd start making more sense, and he just cuts you off. Oh, wait, no, 1 minute. I'm just gonna have my I've got my glass of milk. So
You're right.
All right, and thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Thanks again, Jamie. Bye.
Almond milk.
Killing animals or eating animals because crop production also kills animals is like saying the army goes out and kills people to protect your country so you can become a serial killer. The deaths in crops are largely unavoidable, right? But that doesn't mean you get to go stab animals. The deaths in protecting your country are largely unavoidable, but you don't get to stab people.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Exactly. No, I totally see what you're saying. That's so true. Right. Yeah. It just, if in any other circumstance, it would make them sound like psychopaths.
Right. Basically, yeah.
I don't even want to give him the satisfaction of saying that bees are dying because of plant-based crops because it's just not true. Yeah. Joey Carbstrong went on his show a few months ago and presented him with the fact facts and the data showing that the most amount of bees are dying because of mites.
Yeah.
Why don't you boycott almonds and avocados?
Because I don't see a reason to. Most of the bees are dying from mites.
You don't see-
do you see
You don't
pollination?
see a reason to. Okay. All right.
Listen.
So you don't care about the little
only
guys?
6% die from pesticides, so it's not really a rights violation. Not murdering the bees.
Joey,
it is
here's my
dying.
point.
The bees
big
are just,
pig,
no,
big pig.
One
makes
second.
you- a big pig makes you cry.
They
A little
get
bee.
killed in gas chambers.
You don't care.
No, listen.
You don't care about.
There's no reason to be upset about pollination.
Sometimes 50
they die from
billion.
mites. Why aren't you angry at the mites?
Hang on, Joey.
Barrel of mites.
Sort of shout over each other. Sometimes 50 billion bees die in 6
From
weeks.
mites.
To give you vegans.
I've literally just
your
told you they
almonds
die
and
from
avocados.
mites. Check
No,
out the,
that's not true.
These are agricultural stats
That is
from
not
America.
true.
And
Read
you're
the
still
Guardian.
lying.
Read the Guardian.
I read it in an article, an anecdote, so it must be true. Listen,
Joey, how long have you been a vegan?
10 years.
Right, do you actually? Because you seem quite agitated to me. Like you want a bit
You
of.
spout nonsense about bees being murdered when they die from mites.
They are murdered. They're murdered.
It's
But do you
clown
think-
behaviour.
The priority is absolutely the literal billions of animals being bred, mutilated and killed knowingly for the specific purpose of eating their bodies and the things that come out of them. If anyone who thinks we're going to change the world for bees, little mice, or any insect in the crop production before we change the world for cows, pigs, and sheep and chickens and animals literally created and then having their throats slit, you're insane if you think one's going to come before the other.